As there is a never perfect moment to do the video or anything, I decided I'm gonna do videos. Well, basically anywhere. If I'm tired, I'm gonna make a video when I'm tired and walk somewhere with somebody. Just grab the moment, be in the presence. Not to wait another 3 6 hours. But this video is about awakening. Actually, about my friend Chris, that I did another video with him to ask him two questions, couple of questions. How do you feel after awakening? Because he got awakened, and year ago, I've been meeting Chris, and 2 years ago, and we've been doing trips together with few more friends, usually once a year at least. And Chris was always there, but we had really nothing to talk about. I mean, no offense. It's just with many people I have nothing to talk about, and with a lot of people we have something in common or something to talk about. It's neither good or bad. It's just the way it is. Or they don't talk to me, or they have a lot of things to say to me. But with Chris, we had pretty much nothing to say. And then I met him after a year. Well, before he was a very nice, happy, always training, exercising guy. He is a personal trainer. But this year, few months ago, before I came to Poland, before I came back every year, I come back to Poland for the summertime. He got awakened after some ceremonies, after his practice of years of meditation and living healthy and everything. I have a few friends like this. Some of them awakened, but this year I got to see the time between last year when he wasn't awakened and this year when he got awakened, and it just incredible difference. Not only we got a lot of things. Well, first of all, he got a lot of things to say right now, so he speaks 24 hours. He speaks about energies, about the law of attraction, about the universe, about what's happening, about the interaction with people. He sees all of that. He got uploaded all of that, upgraded it in just months or a year. He says it was just months or last year, and he knows all of it. It's just incredible. So before, within our meeting groups or trips, he was just there and we spoken and everything, but now he's like a center of attention, that people want to listen to him, people want to have his attention, people want to hear what he got to say, and other people follow him as well with other ceremonies they've been doing with Kambo, for example. This is the Kambo is the ceremony when they put you, they burn your skin a little bit, and they put the frog's liquid from the skin, which is a little bit toxic, I guess, for us, but it has a substance that clears you instantly for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You are really, really cleared physically and not only, and then your mind is clear. And when you repeat that 1, 2 times, 3 times in a row within a month or something like that, it really clears you. So people follow him with that when they see the effect, for example. But it doesn't mean anybody should go and do some ceremony. It just shows that when you are ready and when there's a lot of awakening in you waiting, and when you do some cleaning or a lot of meditation or something, that is coming out, the awakening. And it's just incredible. Now he's the same but very different person. So it's just incredible. This is a commercial of the awakening. I'm trying to explain you what is the difference between the awakened one and the one who is just there but doesn't see the cause and effect and the universe and the energies and the chakrams and the energies in you and the oneness, and not being one with everything else. So this was a really crazy weekend when I got to see him really close and speak with a person like this. So I made a video about that. But there's also another thing I wanted to say. With Chris, I noticed that first stage of awakening very often. Like I mentioned about that in other videos, that I met 5 years ago. I met a guy who got awakened, and he came from England to Poland to do some Reiki course. That's where I have the pleasure to meet him. And it was his first stage of awakening. So he was like, Mike, do you know about this energies and that? Oh my God, I see now, I understand. I've been living a lie, and now is everything is becoming clear. And that's what the guy was, and he was always speaking about the energies and how excited he is, and it was just crazy. And Chris is a little bit like this right now. And this is part of awakening, and very often we are like this after being awakened for months or years. But awakening is not about that, you know. And sometimes I'm thinking like, how do other people see me right now? Because I meet a lot of people. I go to the meetings. I go to have some beers with friends sometimes, even though I'm not really a drinker these days. I like to have a beer, one, anytime, sometimes when I feel that. Anyway, I see normal people all the time, and I don't speak about energies, cause and effect, and enlightenment and everything between normal people anymore. I don't know if it's just my thing, or I become to be quiet with all of that. I keep it in me. I see the cause of an effect. I see their psychological structures, their fears, their wantings, they issues, how their gestures, how subconsciously they try to protect or are happy or very open. Or I see different features of character when I speak to people, but I don't use that. I don't say that. I don't meet people and say like, oh, do you feel that energies, and oh my god, this light, the sun is like the first representative of God, and we should worship it again like 1,000 years ago, not go to the church and worship the God that we don't see. Or I don't go with things like this. So I wanted also mention that being awakened, it's just perspective. It doesn't mean that you act in a certain way. I wanted to say maybe you are a little bit more polite or very more kind or make different choices, or some people are very heartful, so you see in them, in their face, in their eyes, you see truth, you see connection with God, you see the heart open, so they're really warm. But for example, me myself, when I'm tired or I use my energy at the end of the day, I don't think you can see. Well, I don't see myself, but I don't think people can see this heart is not that open, or when you're just tired and trying to get through the day, those features of character sometimes are not that visible. But it doesn't mean it's not there. You are conscious. You understand the cause and effect about people responding to you or not responding sometimes. When you ask people a question and they don't respond or they get angry, you don't get irritated or angry with them. You understand their causes, their issues, their problems that cause different character or different responses to you and the universe. And you understand, like, yesterday we've been staying on the camping with Chris and the other friend Peter, and there was a fight. We were already sleeping. It was like 11 p.m., and the family that was staying next to us in the camping field was coming back from the lake city or somewhere, and the father started a fight with the son. There was like a family of few people, including the wife and two children, and the father started to fight with the son, like seriously, like I never heard or saw anything like it. Like they really started to fight, and the father was like, I don't know, 45 or something, and the son was like, I'm guessing 15, 17, 18, like a really young guy. And it was crazy. And Peter started to run. His first response was he went to check what is happening there, but I was in the camping house, and I already exactly knew what was happening because I saw the son hanging out a little bit on the side of the father on the camping field and close to the lake. And I saw the father, and I knew that he got a lot of issues, that he's very aggressive man, bitter, that's one of these guys that is not happy with life, and it could be very aggressive, drinking and with low vibration. So this what happened. Peter was thinking that somebody broke in to the camping field and trying to steal something, and there's a fight. But I already knew that the fight that have been started is between the family, and there's a lot of trauma and aggressiveness of the father, and traumas of the son, and traumas of the father issues in the father's life, you know, and if in his work, that probably he's not happy with his work and everything. Well, you can see all of it when you look at the guy, you know. And uh, and I knew that it was all between them, and the fight was serious, but I knew there is, well, you could go and start to stopping them and everything, but it will not teach them anything. You can just get your ass kicked or separate them or whatever, but it doesn't finish anything, or it will not help. When you understand the cause and effect, and how the aggressor, how the trauma is looking for aggressor to release the trauma. That's how I got the accident in the past. I was really tired and stressed, and I was fix some things in my life that was unfixable. I got into my bike and I got accident. And it was one of the few moments in life when I was really stressed for a couple of days, and then I got accident to release the trauma, you know. It attracts itself. And the same with the fights, when the people fight in the family, verbally, I mean, or people fight on the street physically. I mean, I'm not saying do not help people or do not stop fight or war or something, but Peter went out to the camping field and he was trying to stop it, and it didn't work. Both father and son said like, you stay away, you stay away, don't come to us, stay away. It's an issue between us, because it was. And then Peter had to come back to the camping, our camping, and we did pretty much nothing about that. They were fighting, but the other guy, Chris, that I was telling the story about, Chris was like me. He knew, well, he didn't know what's happening, but he was like, I ain't participating in the fight that I have nothing to do with, because it's the issue between them. You see, Chris got the knowledge awakened, like, I don't know, a few months ago, and he already know the cause and effect. He know where to stick his finger, and he know where there is no help, that they will not learn anything from it. And then we watched the next day, the trauma got released from the family, so they were kind of good and lawful for another day, because we've been close to them. But Chris said like, well, they released the trauma and they haven't learned anything, so it will repeat in 3 days and in 10 days, you know. And if they got guns or knives, maybe they would kill each other, but it's not our thing to stop aggressive people who make really bad choices, and they don't want to learn nothing, to stop them, or force them to have different interaction, because they have to learn. They have to repeat their action till they understand, learn. That's how we have so many wars, I think, still on earth. And humanity have to learn that, you know, provoking somebody is not the reason to make, I mean, there will be no peace with provoking people or having wars. And it's not the direction, like somebody, I like that side that people say, like the hippies saying like, fighting for peace is like fucking for virginity. And it's totally true. And you know, stopping somebody from having sex will not bring more virginity. People have to understand what is peace in their minds, in their hearts first, then they will be peaceful with the outside world and everything. So this was the story of Awakened Friend. This was story of me, a guy who got peaceful with his awakening, and then sometimes I don't even see that awakening during the day. You know, I know there it is. I know how much I've been changing, but I don't go praying to people and saying how loveful they should be, or I am, or whatever. I just go through the day knowing what I know and trying to develop it without mentioning anything to the outside world very, very often, unless I meet somebody who want to listen, or there is some reason that I have to mention something, or I record the video for the people who would like to listen it, or for myself, any reason. But normally I don't like to go through the city anymore and say like, oh, do you feel that energy, or that place have better energy than the other one? Oh, have you seen those people fighting? They've been fighting because of this or that. Well, Sometimes I like to mention it, okay? But not compulsively, like compulsive eating. I see that a lot in people and in myself. Compulsive eating, you wake up and you want to eat, or every 2 hours we want to eat. Some of the people, or the meals we eat huge, instead of let go and just grab something when you're a little hungry. You don't have to eat whole, dinner because it's 2 or 5 p.m. It just grab whatever you need to satisfy their hunger, but not go crazy with it. Well, anyway, a lot of thoughts come in. Thanks for listening. Regards from Poland this time. It was Mike from The Switch, and take care.